No, my higher self gave you a thumbs up. My
Oh,
highest light.
nice.
So I'm on autopilot over here. Like if I'm just like, yo, cut it, thumbs up, thumbs down. If they go, then I'm like, okay,
Oh,
let's do it.
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you got a
beautiful.
thumbs up. So is are we gonna restart? Are we gonna record this, or is it recording now? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I started the recording, but I can edit it to the,
Cool.
to when we start. But I'm gonna record it, and then I'm gonna upload it to Facebook tomorrow afternoon,
Okay,
and then I can share it with you also if you have a YouTube channel that you want to share it out on.
beautiful. What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's so funny because I
Well, what
imagine
are we?
we probably
I'm like a genie in a bottle. You can ask me anything. So like, what are we talking about today?
yes. Okay, so gorgeous. I just kind of wanted to get into the flow and then follow the thread, as I'm sure we both very much live in that realm. But one of the questions that was coming up is when you feel into the energetics for May, June, and then the months ahead, are you sensing the collective?
It's
Yeah.
it's on.
Yeah.
It's on. I'm like some. The funniest thing is you have to pull your head and like your frequency out of like the lower kind of turmoil stuff. And what I do is my frequency is normally so high that the easiest way I drop my frequency is to go on the Facebook feed and see all everyone's posting and research and see all that jazz, right? So, you know, for me, I feel like I'm data from short circuit, and I literally have friends in every single country all over the world, like literally the whole planet. I'm getting up to date information from my friends' balconies in different cities 24 hours a day. What their news is saying that they're recording off their TV, they send it to me. The posts and certain people in my groups and stuff. I'm really up to date actually around the whole globe.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And it's up to date. And I supposed to have sessions with people all around the world. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, pause on the session. What is your like, what is the energetic, proximity of what's being shifted right now? I need to talk to your 60 real quick. And they're like, they'll glitch out. And I'm like, yo, you're on the mic. And they're like, yo, so sector the northeast needs to be cleaned up, underground tunnel from the port, from due west. And I'm like, got it. And then we switch back into like 3D stuff. I'm a steward of this earth. Shall we start, or you tell me?
Yeah, we're going.
We're going. Oh,
yeah,
no, we're going. Okay, well, hey. So check it. Sit back and relax, everyone. We got this. So high. Everyone's like, tell me what's going on. I'm like, look, I'm like your higher self right now. Just chill out, kids. We got this. So check it out. Are there a lot of turds being arrested? Yes. Are there a lot of things that are about to be made public? Yes. Is this necessary? And some people would ask, well, why do we have to know? You have to know because we're the collective consciousness of Earth, and you can't have things that are unknown to you, right? And in that equation, it's all numbers. You can't have someone choose something if they don't see all the equations that are happening that are based upon their choice point. Even if it's something you stare at one time and go, yeah, I never want to see that again. But at least you made that decision to go, yeah, I'm not about that. Yeah. It's difficult to make that decision because later in courts, and I deal with the courts upstairs a lot, we never had an opportunity to, for example, you have, two different, say the light and the night. And one of our aspects is the judge on the council of 12, right?
Yeah.
What you don't want is the night side to be like, we never had an opportunity to express what we wanted to do. We were playing a game, and we never had the opportunity to change. I feel that this judgment is way too harsh. You don't want that to happen upstairs because, unfortunately, I've been on those councils. And, after you've heard the I didn't know clause, 100 million times, you eventually show up on this little blue marble yourself and see for yourself. And I think a lot of us who are galactic ambassadors actually said, I'm tired of your sugar-coated reports. I'm tired of CERN. I'm tired of a lot of these things adjusting the timelines. I mean, I got upset with Shiva. I've talked to Shiva face-to-face. I'm homies with Shiva. I've been to India twice. I know exactly where his temple is. I know exactly where he actually hangs out in India, in Jammu, Kashmir. And I go and talk to him. I pull him up on my Gravity A phone. And I'm like, yo, bro, why they got a statue of you out in front of CERN? Do you know about this? He's like, yo, bro. He's like, they think they're cool. The destroyer thing, like, it ain't me. They put a statue up. Don't look at me like that, bro. I was like, cool, dude, because it's awkward, bro. Like, you're my homie. I'm part of Shiva tribe. Don't put some weird CERN statue. So yeah, Shiva ain't about CERN. A bunch of nerds doing things to benefit their own timeline. Real talk. My thing is that coming from your heart and doing what is necessary to balance and assist all is more than any one of their particular functions can even hold. So they don't even know how to quantify what that feels like. They can't even begin to quantify what creator is. If you don't have your heart on, your heart's 10 times more powerful in this electromagnetic field than your mind. Facts. 100% facts. Google it. So what I'm trying to say is everyone's walking around in a toroidal field. Guess what? You want to know what a toroidal field looks like? Punch in toroidal field to planet Earth. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So my question to everyone is, if your heart's on full, you modulate the frequency of the program or the frequency or literally the holographic function of projection that you wish to feel and see. That is your advent into the consciousness of what your reality matrix is and what your belief system is and what you want to perceive in your space. What happens is, these guys start playing with holographic technology. They got a couple species come down here and say, hey, you want to rule them all? We got a bunch of DNA that's mixed. We're a bunch of hybrid kids. We got Nephilim DNA, Anunnaki, Draconian, Arcturian, Syrian, Palladium, Lyran. Homies from Pegasus, my fellow Olympians. Yes, I did come down here. And the thing is that as we watch this on replay later, he was actually there. I saw the video. He's actually there right now. He's in Sedona. So the deal is that, look, we're trying to make the perfect smoothie. You're the blender. Your 4D is your banana. Your 5D is your pea protein, your Palladian. Your 6D is your blueberries. Your 7D is your strawberries. Your 8D is maybe a little coconut or some chocolate. Your, what I mean? Your 9D is your, monoatomic gold. On up, right? Above DD level 12. Well, what happens when you blend all this stuff together in one container that is going through time and space in the multiverse and experiencing multiple versions of themselves in higher bandwidth, higher dimension of reality? Well, at the end of the day, how do you feel? Do you want to get up in the morning and have fun in this life? Or do you feel like somebody's trying to take something from you, or you're trying to get over on somebody, or trying to ascertain more wealth over something, you're trying to take from others? Or are you the peaceful warrior who goes at any given point in time, a true multidimensional being? Let me express. Can you imagine if 100,000 Teslas turned on right now?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you.
People keep saying these guys and these, there's little kids right now that have that Tesla DNA coursing through them. And what was he really doing? Expressing what we had in Tartaria. What happened 170 years ago? What's the mud flood? Google it. Do you think those church doors are 12 to 15 to 30 feet tall because of the architecture? No. Because at one point in time on this earth, there were dudes 15, 20 feet tall that were going through the front door. It's not architecture. So what I'm trying to get to is, in this 360 roundabout way, is at the end of the day, after all your incarnations, and after all your balancing boys and girls, right? Ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel? Is your inner child happy, or does it want to go home? Does your inner child, appreciate being here? For me, it's really simple. I'm so woke, I haven't seen the net in 10 years. Everyone's swimming around in a net. I don't even know where the net is anymore. I'm like Finding Nemo. I'm like Dory. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I kept swimming for so long into the abyss. I'm just heading towards stars, and I'm hanging out with star beings, and I'm like, oh yeah, the human thing. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, he's there. He's sitting on the porch in his pyramid, just Ready Player One over here. What do you need? So, some of us get so woke, we're literally officers in suits monitoring the game. And I think that a lot of people right now can resonate with that. Once you're woke to a certain degree, you got to go through the different phases, man. You got to go through the hidden truths or the conspiracy level first. What's going on the earth? What is all this BS? Now that I have time to pay attention to it, I've been in quarantine for 60 days, right? What is all this? Why is the world in this order? Who's in charge? And truly what we're looking for is who's to blame. Level 1, questioning your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get a little more woke. You start remembering some of your dreams, right? You start going to places and you have, deja vu. Deja vu, I've been here before. Okay? You dig a little deeper. You start remembering a couple past lives. You start seeing friends that you grew up with, and you're like, I think I've known you for a long time. Really? I felt the same way about you. We're like kindred spirits. Right? Level 2. Level 3. All right. Well, let's start working on my own spiritual beliefs. What happens then? I don't know. My diet changes. My beliefs change. I like to work hard. I like to be productive, but I don't like to work for things that don't serve everybody, and I don't like to take from people or things because I'm a generator and I can outcreate anything in my existence or anything in my reality. People come over to my house. I give them gifts. They go, dude, really? I'm like, I'm the creator. I will make more. And on your way, like I became the magician. I'm like, no, it's all good. This is really expensive. I'm like, hey, I'll make more. Enjoy your day. Love you. You become that in your own life with whatever that craft or skill set is you have. When you begin to give unconditionally, in the beginning, you're tested, right? You got to fake it till you make it, right? You still have that like consciousness, where the lacking consciousness, or whatever that is, we really got slammed on the gas with that in our consciousness. Now, there's been a lot of, gnarly stuff that's happened on Earth, cataclysms, this and that. The last one that's in our recent timeline is the Great Depression. Yeah. Some of our grandparents still hid money in coffee cans in the garage. And they're 90 years old. Like, Grandma, why do you have pennies in this coffee can from 1970s? Like, what is going on? Like, in their thing, though, like, they remember the Great Depression. We don't, Yeah. Now we got our own story. Like, remember the pin. You remember the Karani, the COVID of 2020? Remember that? I'm like, yeah, it was kind of like, more deadlier, Y2K. I don't know. I'm seeing all these guys and these characters and their parents and their mommies and their daddies and, Gates and his daddy, Gates Sr., who taught him to be that way, and, Bush Sr., and, there's some really woke beings on this planet, and those beings specifically that cross worlds, they're being held accountable by their lower dimensional or sun in the game. Mm-hmm. This is being completely real. Like, so what are we doing? I'm always been a huge fan of rehab. I've always been a huge fan of, well, that's looks like you just signed up for another 10 incarnations. That's going to be amazing. My thing is that I try to stay away from the malice because I remember Atlantis and I remember, being a giant, and I remember a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff on this planet, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I'm an angel. Like 3 lives ago, you were like a Viking, Viking that would like go and take over. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're amazing. But 3 lives ago, you were a shit show. So, it just depends on what you want to process. My thing is that, are there assets in the game right now on the light and night side? Yes. Are there things worth saving? Yes. Mm-hmm. Has it kind of gotten out of control based upon a galactic function of stepping in and dealing with the handlers of these kids? I don't consider any human being bad. What I do consider and I pay attention to is the energies which course through their cerebral cortex and their neocortex and the aspects that sit behind them and tell them what to do and encourage their ego and paranoia and fear. But I can tell you some real stuff. This is fun with you. This is like, I feel like this is like one-on-one. We're doing coffee, but this is like what it really goes through his head.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yep. my galactic guardian is just like floating above all the stories.
Yeah. So what it is to me was when they put up the Georgia Guidestones, I think it was Ted Turner, right? Mm-hmm. And when they put those up, they said that we got to keep the population to 500 million. that's these, you know, booga booga kabali wally guys, right? For an upper dimensional being that runs systems, that actually oversees solar systems, that actually is part of, let's just say, the Orion Empire, not this little baby 3D sandbox game. What you just said is that, ladies and gentlemen of the universe, we can't manage more than 500 million people. What you just said was, mother, father, creator, whoever you pray to, 500 million max, and we can't keep all those people controlled, you know? It ain't about so much the environment. So what I said to myself was, guys, listen, you just said you can't manage a planet more than 500 million. Well, let's take you off world and send you to a place where you get 500 million people, and you'll be one of them, and then we'll go ahead and let you run that for a while. But you can't play in this game any longer. No longer should we have the innocence of this planet taking advantage of. No longer will we have wolves hiding in sheep's clothing. And I am very serious when I say we will send you to the land of wolves, where every single being there is a wolf, until you learn what it's like to be a sheep. Oh, I'm like Darth Vader's inner child. I'm like, send him to a mining colony in Orion. Yeah, see you in 300 years. Let's see if that shakes it out of you. My thing is that this earth is a very nice rehab. I really enjoy this place. It's very nice. I learned how to learn patience here and compassion, and knowing when to put the sword down and do stuff. But you know, my thing is that I really do feel Creator look through me, like almost look through my eyes. How are you feeling, son? Are you okay? How's this making? I'm like, I don't know about these guys. I don't know if I like them. Okay, so what else do you like? Then I just dump my data dump to my higher selves. This is going on in Scotland. This is going on in Ireland. This is going on in UK. This is going on in Avebury. This is going on in Stonehenge. This is going on in South America. This is going on in Sedona. This is going on in Australia, Sydney, right? And I kind of just data dump all my friends' information that they're sharing with me in real time, what's happening in each location. And I go, just keep an eye on it. We're doing good, though. And here's the thing that people really want to hear. Besides my rant, things are going to get better. Yes, I've seen it. Next 3 months is just all that stuff's got to come out to the surface. Financial game's going to change, straight up. Everyone that knows what's up knows what's up. The financial game is going to change. I think Trump already said they basically integrated into the Fed. They're going to be in control of that now. Thank goodness. And personally, I never thought, I don't know, man. It's been a really long time since I felt this country had a real president. To be honest, I don't think we've had a real president since JFK.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of presidents that come in and go and do this and do that. But what I can tell you is personally, staring at the handlers that are operating, and especially when we kind of moved those Zeta Reticuli guys off planet, the tall whites. You know, some of that stuff just needed to take place, and same thing balancing, some of the reptilian and draconian things. I'll talk about these things. I got aspects. listen. I'll be clear with you. I got them on both. I got light on my left. I got night on my right. I don't run from the boogeyman. Yeah. So my deal is this: the new game that Creator wants us to play, and the real challenge of Earth is now that Humpty Dumpty's been broken into 1,000 pieces. How fast can you put it back together? How fast can you come together? You will be monitored and measured on how fast you can unify the surface above and below in a planet. How fast can you unify planet Earth? That is the new challenge that Creator has put upon us. How fast can you fix it? Go.
Yep.
And that's something I'm trying to tell these guys on the night side. I'm like, stop doing that stuff. Do you know what that looks like? Like for your attorney trying to defend you in a galactic court? I can't defend you, bro. Like, do something to balance the equation, man. Like, I don't know, And I do this with, a lot of humility. Honestly, no one, I've changed a lot. And I think as people grow, they change a lot. I don't feel like I have anything to prove left in this life. I want to create paradise and abundance with my family. I want to use new technologies to do that. I want to make paradise on Earth in 1,000 different ways. I'm literally typing up a business plan right now for that function with all of the links and everything that I have to turn in. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to get to with all of this here is that you have to outperform the stagnance or the control that leans against thee. Don't buy into it and feed it energy. Outperform it and just ignore it like it never. I mean, just go right past it. Now, some of the stuff we're forced to learn about, we have to know who these guys really are and what their true intentions are.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'll promise you, it's still a little kid whining about something not going their way, where the ego program got out of control and was just feeding off that individual like at a Sizzler buffet line, just loosh on full, and my thing is that what's the energy behind it? People really need to dig deep and go, I'm staring at this guy through my biological eyeballs, seeing it 30 frames per second. That's why the NTSC standard for television is 29.97 frames. That's how many frames can come through your eyeballs in a nice resting state. When you see it 60 frames per second, time slows down. No, your adrenal gland is fired. That's when you get a near-death life experience, time slows down. If people really took a real deep look when someone's talking to them and just went straight into their eyeball, like straight into them, and said, hey, bro, what are you really trying to say? What are you really trying to say? Like, hey, talkie, walkie, walkie. Talk to me, bro. Like, you're like, hey, dude, like, I love you, but like, come on, you can say it. I know you only say it in front of your wife late at night, eating popcorn. But can you tell me the truth right now? Because here's the deal. What I want everyone to understand is this. There are higher level operators in this game from our galactics that are watching this game. And in the most beneficial way. But I can tell you straight up, when those bombs went off in World War II, they woke some very old things up that moseyed on over here, sat down next to this planet, and are watching it like a fishbowl. They do have no idea who is watching. And that's what I try to express, because I see my dudes and I'm like, does anyone else understand who's watching? Because they're like, they don't even know we exist. This is hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, it's like E.T. Real World. And these guys think they're getting away with things. And I'm going, oh my God. I'm like, whoa. When you actually see like true galactic guardians roll up and go, what up, homie? I'm like, I don't know. I'm here, bro. We took the call. We're here now. But I know you have a lot of different levels of higher awareness and resonance. Let's talk about some of the things that you're feeling specifically right now. And most importantly, your galactics and how they feel about this shift and what's taking place right now.
Yeah, so this is a really fascinating space because I have been connecting in with all of the deities, the galactic celestial cosmic councils, ancient celestials, immortals, all of this for so long. And there was a place in my journey where they actually commanded for me to break my contract and agreement with them and come take my seat on the council. And so where I am right now, and my guidance is to work directly with super consciousness and synthesize absolutely every single thing into light. So I'm on like massive cleanup patrol, like from the galactic I am avatar all the way in through the infinite core of every single molecular particle and cellular structure that exists in our bodies and on the planet, and into the depths that we are, the infinite depths of beingness, all the way out to the infinite expanse. So I'm just constantly in that space of, we're shifting trillions of times per second. So it's a constant. It's a constant. And so staying synchronized. So when you said, how quickly can we sync? How quickly can we? That's
the real test. That's the real test. Because like all these guys talk a big game. Yeah. All right, bro, integrate your 10D Draco and your 8D Anunnaki. Go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not so easy, is it there? We're the masters of the physical. I'm like, oh my God. We had this stuff back in Atlantis, guys. I don't know. There's more stuff buried in the Vatican than we've invented. I just,
well, so much
it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride.
It comes through experience, though. It's like meeting face to face with the draconian and learning how to digest, how to ingest that.
Right. And another thing too, my homie Randy, my boy Randy Kramer, he lives in VOC. We got off the cuff discussions, I'm like, dude, crocodile heads. And I talked to my 10D Drake, and he goes, son, that's our lower 3D form. You're used to seeing me in my 10th dimensional form. No, we don't look like crocodiles. So I was sitting there going like, you guys look like crocodiles in the physical. I was like, come on, man. Like, I talk to you all the time, bro. I'm like, you look like you're popping and locking. Like, you got symmetry, bro. Yeah. They go, lower form, dude. You're used to hanging out with guys 70 and above, and that's all you hang out with all the day because I've been gone for a while. Like, all my guys are just like, if you can't like moonwalk into my space and like, like if you're not in full integration, like you can't hang out. You know, it's almost like going to a dance party and you have like the one guy that's like can't dance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like sitting in the corner. Everyone's like, hey, are you gonna try? And they're like, no, I feel uncomfortable in public. You know, like in my sphere, you got to be about it. You got to be honest. You got to be real. I speak how I feel, not only with you and your audience. I love you guys. But my thing is that 10, 11 years staring through the veil, 24 hours, you know, when I blink, I'm staring through the veil. So I've been, you know, it's been like eyes, you know, it's difficult because you see so much and then you kind of see the pink elephant in the room for people. Yeah. But then you have to understand in your own mastery, especially if you're a healer, it doesn't serve them just to point out the pink elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. You have to allow them to experience it first and then decide, yeah, I don't want to feed that pink elephant in the room. Every time I get upset, I get it, you know. But the thing is that everyone has their own lesson. And, you know, controlling that ego, oh my God, I was born and raised in Manhattan Beach, California. You're born into the ego. I'm South Bay. I'm an actor. I'm a model. I'm a real estate. You know, it's a very wealthy, well-to-do place. I was born in that. I thought that was normal. Yeah. And then when I left 10 years ago for Sedona, it took me about 2 years to break that program. You know, like, hey, dude, like, I don't care what kind of car I'm driving, bro. And hey, like, how many souls have you helped today? Like, there should be a new currency on this planet. Yes. Of like, hey, like, how many people have you assisted today? I know you bought a new purse and the shoes to match. Awesome. Have you helped anyone? You know, sent a blessing, even, you know, liking someone's post who's waking up and doing their best. You know, everyone deserves a hug and encouragement into who and what we really are. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, it's just this mind game is coming to an end, and we're literally all watching it live take place. It's just the mind, So
well, that's why I keep getting. I just keep hearing the grand opening is really it's just this grand opening, and these celestial cosmic frequencies are just going to permeate these dimensions, and literally we're just going to raise. And
so, you know, some people are just gonna make it look easy, you know. Just you keep floating. I'm like, you're like levitate, bro. And I'm like, and I can do this. My goal is to do the levitate, like by the end of this incarnation, I want to be able to do proper, full on, the levitating moonwalk in the air. Like if I can, you know what I mean? Like I would just be so happy. Like you just go up, you're like, huh? And then you're like, no, wait for it. No, it's not done. Then you got to see. It's difficult because when you levitate up in the seated position, then you got to stand up, which is like a whole. It feels like, oh my God, it's so difficult. Then, then you're just full blown like, oh no, he's just making it. Because what happens if you make it look too easy, then they're like, oh, you guys are ringers. Where are you from? You're not from. You're like, I got a little Rion, Pegasus, Lyra. You know. They're like, yeah, we thought so. You guys, most people can't just moonwalk across, you know, evolution, but we get it. But I want to remind you guys out there watching us right now, you are also those beings. You know what I mean? Everyone watching this right now, you are also those beings. And we never would have taken the challenge that we wouldn't be successful at. And I'm sure to remind you of how powerful you guys really are. I want to be true to that statement. Sometimes you're activated in different time sequences. Sometimes you're activated based upon a belief system in your own life. Sometimes your 3D life has to completely collapse for you to have the moment or opportunity to actually switch back into your spiritual life and remember what you wanted to be when you were 12 or 15 years old. Remember what your real dreams were. Remember what your real aspirations were. Not kind of what this matrix, you know, now you're working at Amazon boxing things. Like this is, you know, people, you know what I mean? Like certain people have dreams and aspirations. Don't get me wrong, you know, everyone has their 3D job. And I appreciate everyone's choice and what that is. What I'm trying to say is that everyone should also be working on their side hustle, right?
Oh yeah, especially
now. Maybe you have to go back to school. Maybe you have to start painting. Maybe you have to start playing that instrument. Maybe you should pick up that microphone and create and finish that soundtrack that you had sitting on your desk for 6 years. Listen, we are very powerful, creative beings. If you don't use your creativity, you're really not using all the gifts that Creator God, Yahweh, gave you down here, all the tools in your toolbox.
Yes.
It's like God gave you, like the Coleman 360 toolkit, and you got this on your shoulder, and for some reason, you're just using the standard, screwdriver. And you're like, why can't I manifest? And everyone's looking, all your higher selves like, bro, you keep pulling the same tool out. You can't, you're hammering with it. You're trying to pry open cans. It's a screwdriver. Bro, grab the proper tool to manifest what you want, okay? Stop using the same tool. And that's the truth, It's like, everyone's grabbing the same tool. I got a butter knife. What do you want me to do with this? I'm like, hey, man, you got to look down at your feet. You're like, oh, shit. You're like, you got the whole enchilada. Grab whatever you want, man. We're here to help you, and but people get so, tunnel vision on how they think the universe works.
Yeah.
And, and unfortunately, those are the people that shake the most. Those that think they got the whole universe figured out. The atheists that think that nothing they do matters. All of these guys have never had a near-death life experience. Most people that do the atheist thing is because maybe most of them had a religion they followed, and then someone was taken from them. Their mom died, dad died, sister died, brother died. Something gnarly, traumatic happened, and they said to themselves, God can't exist if you put me through this much pain. You don't exist, and they pull back. And like I said, everyone's allowed to believe whatever they want down here, but for someone who stares through the veil 24 hours a day, when I'm sleeping, I'm woke, and when I'm awake, drinking my coffee in the morning, staring through my third eye with my eyes open, high-fiving my higher selves all day in real time in complete peace, balance, and intellectual property, being really honest. Where do you think your genius inventions come from? Not this little chemical computer. When you get into that space and you go, well, how can there be nothing if all of these people have had all of these sensations and experiences of life after death and all of these meditations and prayers, and who are they talking to when they're talking to their higher self? Look, all of that stuff is as real as you need it to be for you to get through the evolutionary step that you're currently in right now. If you feel you can't open, like if there's a book of knowledge that is truly you, and every time you open this book, you get scared and you close it, it's like, remember who you are. You're like, what? Open the book. Open the book, boy. The universe is trying to get in. You're like, oh, that's way too hard to experience. That makes my tum-tum. My ego can't compute. Yeah, your ego can't compute because it was only designed to run a basic survival program in a video game. It wasn't meant for you to lead you around your experience. Your heart was supposed to lead you around your experience. Your mind just directs and focuses and analyzes what you see. You're supposed to always lead with your heart. Now, you put people through enough trauma. You have a bunch of, different species coming in here with their kids trying different things out for the first time. Yeah, there's some growing patterns. But some of us who are really old don't get caught up in youngsters experiencing the physical for the first time who don't understand what true power is. Okay, being able to wield true power. You have to operate like a child. Why? Because if they let you out of quarantine, you'll be seen as a liability for anything that comes in contact with you. Facts. It's not about you. It's not about your command. It's not about your species. It's upper dimensional, galactic, solar, and cosmic beings which oversee all games in the multiverse. They will never let Darth Vader out of quarantine until he or she forgives themselves, forgives others, and sees how their actions affected others. Why? Because logically, you cannot be a programmer or a consciousness engineer if you don't understand how your actions affect the all. It's literally illogical. That's what I'm trying to say. Like when you get to the highest levels up the dimensional chains, everything's so logical. You're just like, oh shit, well that makes sense. Oh, well, I kind of get it. Why I got to change it. That makes sense. Oh, but I can't just, yeah, well, see what that looks like in 60 years. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You just turn into this like, yeah, I understand that I know nothing. You basically turn into Socrates of Plato. You're like, you don't know anything. Shut up and observe and learn from your heart. But it's hard to tell people that have forgotten who they truly are.
Right.
And, you know, it's a lot funnier than you think. And listen, suffering isn't funny. I don't like suffering, and I'm not taking it lightly. I'm not into people suffering whatsoever. And it really upsets me when innocence is taken advantage of. I'm being completely honest with you. There are certain rules out there in the universe that are universal rules. Just like back in the day, if you go to war, hey, leave the women out of it. I know it's kind of a masculine thing to say, but if you get in a beef, you leave the women and the children alone if you're beefing with, whoever's fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this world, they've lost their ways, even on wielding what night force is. They've lost their way. And I can't, war sucks. I don't agree with it. But I'm saying in a very, real way, the beings that operate in the night side, there still is a level of understanding. There still is a level of rules at the higher levels, obviously, and how things are supposed to operate and how things are supposed to be conducted as beings. If you want to test your mettle, test your mettle. But it's not a fair fight to have an MMA fighter in a fight with a 12-year-old. That's not a fair fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the difference is when you have people that do that stuff and take advantage of innocence and the young and those that can't defend themselves, when you throw them in a pit of beings of the same mentality, then watch them break down like a little child. Why? I thought you were They melt. They melt. So we're not trying to replicate that, mind you. I'm just trying to, guys, walk you forward 360 on some of the things that people are going to come to understand as you get older. The goal is to balance thyself. Right? Have a strong offense on the light side, have a strong defense on the night side. But you're never supposed to let one of your aspects drive that suit. Your inner child always keeps his or her hand on the steering wheel and goes, honey, it's like, imagine being the gnarliest, powerful dragon in the universe. And you got this little dude sitting in the seat going, yeah, baby. Where are we going right now, man? I want to go see Alpha Centauri. He goes, of course. And then you got other dudes bouncing into you like, hey, he can't just do what he wants. And then, homeboy with the horns and all just goes, what did you say to me? Back up. And the little inner child goes, who's that? He's like, don't worry about it, honey. Let's go to Alpha Centauri. Let's go to Betelgeuse. Like, I'm just trying to say it's the gnarliest thing, because even on the night side, where you actually get your inner child in the game, interacting with yourself, it's such a feat that you will protect it without a doubt. So there's literally a lot of us who have these shields over our hearts that actually protect us in our environment and all this weird shit going on around the world. It protects our real pure essence, which we all have, from all that weirdness. But here's the thing. It's like a catch-22. You can't step into your power until you open your heart. When you open your heart, you gotta feel everything. So you're like, wait, I like it, but wait, what? I want to do it, but it feels weird. So you get in this like flashlight on, flashlight off thing, and then you start questioning the whole reality. Like, who wrote this shitty program? I feel like I've been watching some C- programming for the last 5,000 years. Who wrote this sci-fi C- program? Pull them up. Pull up all the directors from the different species. Did you really think the whole population was going to enjoy experiencing that? You start being a participant in the overall consciousness of what the game is. Then, my fellow game makers and watchers that didn't hook up with Earth humans. I don't know. I don't know what side I am on that, because I'm down here. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a joke. Like, well, you wouldn't be down there if you didn't go down. I don't know the rules. I'm just trying to express some old knowledge on you. I used to be a lot taller. But what I'm trying to say is this. Inner child. Check it. Again, the inner child is the governor of your force. So if everyone's given a Ferrari and we all start driving this Ferrari, say it's 16 years old, we all go to the track and everyone just slams on the gas. The car can go, let's say it goes 300 miles an hour. But once you get 180, 200 miles an hour, the governor shuts off the engine. Why? Because the car can go 300 miles an hour for 15 minutes. You're going to blow the engine. Okay? The inner child is used as a governor over your energy and how you use it. You need to cross-check everything with your heart and that inner child in you and go, because listen, what happens when you actually have beings that are so powerful that incarnate, turn on their dormant DNA? And I keep thinking all the time, what happens if people start bilocating and you can't catch them and start sliding in and out of dimensions like Bigfoot? They slide into 4D, they slide into 3D. Hey, what happens when you have beings with such strong telekinetic powers? They start picking up trees. You got guys picking up paper clips. What happens when you have guys start picking trees up and going, hey, gains, and put the trees down? And then what type of stories are these guys going to write and do? You can't contain a whole population waking up. People want to talk about these little small things what happens when your DNA activates. Okay, that's cute. What happens when actual true force starts coursing through your veins once more? Which of your aspects are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to that 8D or Anunnaki or that 10D Draco? Yeah, we're going to do this. Or that angelic or Illyrian? Hey, don't do that. We use that force for healing people. Oh, okay. What type of children are they raising down here? You have a being that becomes fully conscious, fully sovereign, remembers who they are, why they're here, remembers how to modulate through the matrix, remembers things that they were taught through lives and lives and eons of time. What type of kid are you going to raise?
Do you think that from that vantage point you could raise... I don't even think that it's possible, and this is just my experience and my perspective. I don't think there's any way that you could even imagine causing harm from that vantage point.
It's just like me. I tell people all the time, I'd rather be surfing with sea turtles. I know it sounds really simple, but I was in Nicaragua last year. The waves were perfect. I was born in South Bay. I was in junior lifeguards. I'm goofy foot. I love to go ride huge lefts. I went to Nicaragua last year, and I was in Popoyo, and it was huge out. I got towed out. We took the boat out to this private break in the middle of the freaking Pacific Ocean, and it was big. And I didn't surf like this. I mean, I went from like 0 to like, it's 10 foot. You haven't surfed in 10-foot waves for about a decade, bro. And this ain't no Waikiki. No lifeguard in the middle of the ocean with a fisherman in a boat. Everyone waving at me. I'm like, well, hey, spotlight's on, baby. I was like, better not drop the ball. Everyone's watching, right? Took off on this huge left, got pitted. Boom. 3 waves set. I get hammered. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, boom. I used to train to surf bigger waves, right? But when the waves are perfect, I know every surfer out there understands. When it looks like it's freaking endless summer, even though it's huge, you're grabbing your board and you're going out. And what happened was this. This is the actual memory. I literally had a moment there in fear when I was getting slammed on the bottom, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm 6'1", 200 pounds. I haven't been body slammed in about 10 years. I don't know if you guys, but nature will body slam you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had this boom, this impact. I hit the bottom of the rocks. I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't felt like that in a long time." To feel that sort of like, oh man. And I'm coming up and I'm taking a deep breath and I go, whew, and I'm staring at this wave coming, duck dive under it. I'm going, whew, shit, man, this is like life or death stuff. And at the moment that I was like, this is gnarly, huge sea turtle pops up. Boom. Right? Looks at me with that big eyeball, right? Yeah. And literally it was like creator saying, hey, bro, you okay? Like, it was almost like he was, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like he came up like, hey, hey. Like there was something big looking through him like, you okay? We're watching up here in the energy, but I had to see in 3D. Are you okay? And I was like, well, I'm okay, bro. Okay. He literally went like this and like went back down. So when I say I'd rather be surfing with sea turtles, what I mean is being a true steward of Earth is enjoying the bounty and beauty and blissfulness of Earth. You could be hiking in a forest and you walk into a meadow and there's a family of deer or elk and you just have a moment of like, oh my God, like I'm literally feel like I'm in like Snow White right now. And like you could be in the Serengeti or you could be scuba diving and dolphins just happen to roll by and go, yo, bro. Nature is so beautiful and so awesome that for me in this incarnation, what keeps me straight and sound through all this ego and attachments and all this jazz and all these changes is, in my heart of hearts, my inner child, I know that once this is done, I want to return to a place, you know, my own like kingdom in my heart where it's like, yeah, man, I'd rather be surfing with sea turtles and, you know, I got Flipper off the deck and I feed him fish in the morning like he's my dog and we swim around and I got a Sea-Doo and he's swimming underwater next to me. Like I'd rather just be hanging out with like what God intended with my friends and family or with all my, you know what I mean? But like, I don't think people have actually experienced that level of what this planet can offer. You're born in a big city. Yo, hard knocks life. This is how it is. And I'm doing my thing. You've never been in a situation where you actually, besides watching it on TV or something, right? But you've never felt that much frequency go through. You were like, whoa. So that's what it's like to be here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yes, bro. It's life or death. It's awesome. You make it. God checks on you. Hey, boy, you okay? Doing great, Pops. This is gnarly, bro. And like all that BS goes out the window. Your car, your house, your thing, your career. It's life or death right now, bro. You gonna drown or you gonna surf? Hey, you grown up, you a man, you a woman, you a steward? Let's go. It ain't, I'm gonna sit here and tweet about my, no. You got no time for that. You gotta be and just be. And I say that in a very direct way because my goal is to kind of snap people out of like, hey man, you see a picture of a waterfall in Costa Rica. Hey, maybe go, where is that?
Yeah.
Cheaptickets.com. It's only $400, babe. Hey, cheap hotel, $200 for a week, babe. I'm going to take a picture in that waterfall where that person is right now. That's rad.
Yeah.
I want to inspire people to go and experience this world, to get out of the house and go explore, because that's actually what enriches your soul. And a lot of us who signed up for this game, the game was to experience new information for your soul. Why? Because I never would be who I am, balancing all my aspects. I'm friends now with all my homies. By the way, mind you, 5-6 years ago, I wasn't even talking to a couple of my night higher selves on the right-hand side. It wasn't like, oh, you've always been a happy family. No. Let me explain. There was some, put it this way, my 8E wasn't invited to inner child Thanksgiving ever. You know, like ever. He was like, no, Darth Vader. My inner child's like, keep him away from me. You know, it's like Darth Vader like coming in like, I'm sorry, no one ever loved me. I don't know how to express it to you. I was just really tough on it. But I'm like, look, I get it. I love you now. Chill. But what I'm trying to say is how many people are going through something similar right now that someone in your family is reflecting that type of personality or frequency in your space right now. And each of these frequencies is represented by one of your family members where you can actually feel an emotional connection to what I'm trying to express to you if you guys just see through your third eye and see your aspect staring at you, but it feels just like Uncle Johnny, or it feels just like your stepdad, or it feels just like your aunt. Same exact emotional. God, he's just like, you know, whatever that is. Once you have the emotional understanding, then you go, oh, he's cool, just don't give him any alcohol. You know what I mean? You kind of go into that, he's cool, just, you know, give him some space. You learn to understand that the universe is a family.
Yeah.
And once you understand the emotions of each species, each race, and, you know, we're in human suits, there should be no difference in anyone wearing a human suit right now. Hey, we're all in the H.U.M.A.A.N suits, right now, right? I mean, so I don't know why you have any separation. We're all on this planet. When you fly by in a spacecraft, right? We're one unit, baby.
Yeah.
We're Earth. We're Earth, baby. We're Terrans. We're locals. We're like, take that, west side, east side. You're like, take that weirdness out of here, bro. This is Earth. And you know what I mean? Like, we're locals, man. Like, we get it. And like, my thing is that we've earned that, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
When you go, we've earned that. You go back to the Pallades, and you're wearing your royal robes and, the gold trim, and they got the music going and the teleprompters, and you're walking through the aisle and the whole crowd's going, yeah! Oh my God, how difficult was it? You're like, oh baby, you're rolling through like, Mick Jagger. You're like, yeah, we told you we'd handle that. There's like different like groups of us, right? Like me and you and our groups that are watching right now. We're those guys that like do it and then like you kind of like pop and lock while you're doing it, And then there's some like that just barely make it. Like, oh my God, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my existence. It just depends what group you're in and how old your soul is, right? So what I'm trying to say is all experience is awesome. But as long as you guys remember to at least try out the heart thing, stay in your heart. For all you guys trying to figure out this duality game, you can't figure out which side to be on. Obviously, I want you on the light side, on the left side. But listen, you got aspects. Night is always on your right. Okay, light is always on your left. Okay, that's why your heart's on your left. Okay, they make it really simple for you. But what I'm trying to say is, on the night side, I'm not saying that you have aspects in your field or hard right in your field. They're kind of doing whatever they want to do. All I'm asking is that you balance yourself enough where all of those aspects come into your center. I'm not asking Darth Vader to run into Rainbow Bright Lollipop Land. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not, oh, you're the master of the Beetlejuice? Hey, try out, Palladian Backyard. You're going to love it. You might actually love it. I don't know. You might actually really love it. I don't know. Maybe like, but like privately, like you wouldn't let your friends see you do it. You're like, oh, that's fun. Like that spa is off the chain. Oh yeah. You go right back to I'm hard. Oh my God, my pedicure is off the chain. Do you see how clean these are? What I'm trying to get to is all you got to do is get it into your center. Okay. And then you're good to go. Because ascension is in the center, straight up or up at a 45-degree angle. And that including, last thing I'll share with you is ascension is a chain reaction. So if you're going from 3D to 5D, where's your 5D going? 7D. Where's your 7D going? 90. So there's a V. And I can maybe share this article with you. So 3D, 4D on the right. I don't know if this is reversed on the camera, but this is my right hand. This is my left hand. 3D, 4D. 5D is on the left-hand side. That's a little higher in spectrum or frequency than 4D. So your 4D is your lowest night form. Your 5D is your lowest light form. So 4D goes to 60, 5D goes to 70. Okay? 60 goes to 8D, 70 goes to 90. It kind of goes up like that. Every time you go up in frequency, you go up in bandwidth, less dense. Light equals data. As you go up in dimension, you have access to more data. That's why in 5D, there's a billion or trillion times the color. The audio is 10 times, like if right now, if 3D was like 1080p, do it like this. 4D is like 4K, 5D is like 8K, 6D is like 16K. It just keeps going up, the amount of data and colors and whatnot that you have access to.
Yes.
So a chain reaction is if we go from 3 to 5, our 5D has to go to 70. What we want is, mind you, and your 4D goes to 60. Now, why do 4D beings on the night side resist so hard to go into 6D? Because the 6D jump is very difficult. You instantly go from an Earth planetary belief system where everything looks human, which goes to 5D, mind you. As soon as you go to 6D, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy, straight up. There is like different human. It's such a huge jump from 4 to 6 that it's almost like you asking a 4D teenager, hey, I want you to go to MIT and graduate in nuclear physics. And you're like, bullshit. Homework I gotta do. I'm like, look, it's all paid for. I got you, bro. Like, just get in there. And a lot of dudes rather just be in the parking lot pretending. But for those who are actually in Ascension School right now, which many of you are, the reason why you have to go through these functions and balance and understanding is that each dimension holds different gifts, different speeds, and it allows for less and less stagnance or shenanigans. I'll tell you right now, a Syrian commander is way different than a 4D commander.
Oh, yes.
You come from Series B like I do, militarized. Series A is more diplomatic. Series B is militarized. Series C is kind of like in between.
Series A.
Series A, yeah. Series A is right. But yeah, if you guys have dreams of the two suns, definitely the blue suns, hot white fire. You know, our sun is really hot over there in Sirius. I love it. And I used to make jokes all the time. I'd rather be surfing on the beach in Sirius right now, but you got me here. Well, I'm a Pisces up in the mountains, drying out, man. It's dry out here, bro. But I appreciate, this run, and I appreciate being with you here today. And I hope, my experience and levity can at least lighten the mood a little bit. My thing is that, what I've learned as I grew up in my energy was to say things very seriously, and they may be very serious things, but I find that it's only after I've processed something that I can laugh about it, especially about myself. You need to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of the traumas that you've gone through in life and a lot of the things that I've done on Earth, there's more information on that on teamlight.com and Unite the Collective on YouTube. But the information that I have ascertained and I'm trying to express in a very casual way to you, if it's the first time that you've seen these videos or seen me in general, I'm Rion DeRouen, nice to meet you, is that I was part of a team that went around the planet for about 10 years behind the scenes that were cleaning up a lot of things in 3D, not astral projecting around, but my job was to, my main focus was old battlefields, clearing the energy, transporting the souls, and organizing the frequency. Because if you think about the Earth or Gaia, everyone talks about Gaia, upgrading and ascending into 5D or a higher density or a fourth density planet. Well, you have to do Reiki on the places that really dense energy has taken place on, because energy doesn't stop, even though that vessel is no longer there, in 3D, 600 years ago. If no one's cleaned it up, energetically, they're still fighting right now on the battlefield in a time loop. You have to understand, when you exert that much force into a space, that energy has to be moved somewhere, because you can't get rid of energy. So some of us have those jobs. I like the title Galactic Plumber. That's very humble. I am a Gaia Reiki master. And obviously ground crew with you guys. And there's a lot of many amazing light workers and light healers out there. Our group is known as Team Light. And we assist those behind the scenes to make sure that we reach our timeline and our benchmarks, and obviously freeing this planet and back into a place of peace and prosperity.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. And that's it in a nutshell. Get your popcorn out. It's going to be quite entertaining.
Yes. I'm so thankful that that your higher self gave me a thumbs up. That's awesome.
Yes, of course.
So thankful that we actually had the opportunity to connect. I've been aware of you for a while. And my higher self said, well, why don't you go ahead and just invite him to be on?
Everything's in divine time. And especially with us right now, because we're co-workers upstairs.
Yeah.
Our job right now is to remind everyone else that, on this earth right now, your higher selves are working towards, this change on this planet, and to honor yourself and the path that you have walked, and just try to become the healthiest, most abundant, positive version of yourself you can be. And if you accomplish that task, you graduate. And that's what I like to say. I just want everyone to graduate and enjoy higher realms of reality.
Yeah.
And it really is something that I don't take for granted. I'm very blessed to be here, and it's been an absolute pleasure being on your show.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. So much love for you. And yes. I'm here if you ever want to reach out.
Yes, thank you. If we have a coworker, we have dialogue, we got things going on,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Whew.
Well, Yeah, that was excellent. I
Excellent.
appreciate
Well,
it. It was so good and juicy and filled with a lot of
hey,
humor, which I deeply appreciate.
hey, I'm sending love and appreciation to you and everyone across the planet Earth from
Mm.
Sedona, and it's been an absolute pleasure being here.
Okay. Thank you, love. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.